10 out of 10. So to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off the lash strip off of this pack or plastic. As you guys can see here, they're pretty much glued on, and one of the mistakes I've always made in the past was accidentally pulling off the lash a little bit too harshly, and sometimes pulling at the hairs that are actually on the strip provided, but that's okay. It's really not that big of a deal, but I do suggest with this brand specifically going in gently with a pair of tweezers. And I'm just going to kind of start at an angle with the lash line. Okay, the fact that I'm actually doing this kind of nicely on camera. Oh, okay, spoke too soon. Okay, there we go. Now, usually we would just go right in, but we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Why? Because Michaela tried to do that, and it just wasn't working. So, to make sure that you can achieve these beautiful, beautiful lashes on a night out or wherever you're going, we're going to make sure that this application is smooth, amazing, and efficient. I'm just going to basically grab some scissors and I'm going to get to snipping. Now the thing is, I'm going to be basically making these into clusters, not super small though, just enough so that way I can make sure that I have enough to do at a time. Me personally, I've been loving a half lash lately. I feel like they're personally so much more quick, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know who came up with the concept of half lashes, but you ate, girl. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. I'm gonna be snipping right in the middle. Now, usually when you're working with a lash that provides different lengths, you're going to basically be seeing shorter hairs in the front, and then you're going to be seeing short to medium length hairs in the middle, and then you're basically going to be seeing longer hairs at the ends. Most times the end is usually the longest. In this case, it all looks about pretty even from the middle to the end, but since we are doing a half lash, you are more than welcome to just snip and put on the last of the lash, which will more than likely give you the longest length. You can go ahead and add both the middle and the last of the lash, which will basically be probably the same length, just with a little bit more pop because you are using 2 bits of lashes at a time. Or you can just go ahead and use the shorter one and then the longest length, but whatever you want to do. In this case, I'm just going to snip right in the middle. You're not going to be just cutting right through the lash. You're basically just going to be cutting right in that line. That lash line you see right there, you're basically going to add the last bit of your scissors, and you're just going to snip nice and small right there. I think my hand is shaking, y'all. Okay. This little piece, she's a good lash. Like, I would wear this right now if I didn't have some pre-cut already. Like, do you see that? Oh, do you see that potential? I don't know, y'all. And if you're in the mood to add, let's just say, a few at a time, then you would basically do the same thing, repeat those steps, and just cut right here. Me personally, because I'm loving this, I feel like this is the half lash in itself, and I totally wasn't expecting that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just simply, I'm going to add that another time. Because I think I did a great job. You're just going to go ahead and start applying them. Now this is where the easy part comes in, because the point of the half lash, in my opinion, is to not only make it a great look, but to also make sure that it's an easy application for you, especially as a beginner. So I'm going to take the little bit that I have. I'm going to go ahead, and it looks like this is my right eye. Also, if you decide to do shortest to longest length with your half lash, you can always tell which eye it's going to go on based off of the look of the shorter one. So basically, if you're working on your right eye, the short piece is going to naturally be on your far left. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Sometimes I've confused myself and I went ahead and put the shorter piece literally at the end and not realizing it until much later. Still tea, but it is probably a common mistake, at least for me. And of course, for the other eye, it would basically be the same thing, just in reverse. first. This is the glue that I'm going to be using. I like to use the Kiss Lash glue, kind of like a classic, but you can pretty much use any glue. I could just get it open. So it'll basically be easy to just gently go across the lash line. You may accidentally put a bit of too much glue. It's totally okay. I don't think it's really like alarming if you do. And then I'm just gonna grab my compact mirror, only because technically with this I could see it a little bit more up close. Because yeah. Alright, and then of course I'm just gonna basically apply these under. That is another thing as well that I feel like will help the girls. I know for lash strips in the day when they were more common to use them, I know we always kind of put them on top of the lash line. Me personally, that also played into me having a hard time applying my lash strips, because personally I just could never really get it to stick to my eyelid. I don't know, that's just me. It could be because I'm more used to lash clusters at this point, but I basically like to apply them right underneath my lash line like I would do with clusters. Ooh. Did I ice that or what? And because it's in the process of drying, I try not to play with it a lot unless I'm realizing the inner corner is kind of off. And even then, because you're getting ready to probably go in with another cluster of lashes, you can just layer it on top. It really won't matter if a corner or so is lifting, because at that point you can just kind of layer it and make it a little bit less noticeable. Try not to play with your lash cluster too much, because technically the glue is fresh and it still is drying. The application ended up being okay and lasting me the entire day. Now this just so happens to be the smaller one that I was talking about, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply that as well. Ooh. Still drying. And they may look a little clumped together. It's okay. Sometimes we love a good clump lash. Kind of nearing the end of using these anyway, and it's nighttime, so this is gonna kind of come right off as soon as I'm done and take my pictures, of course. Alright, so whenever you do want to kind of play with it just a tad bit, especially if you already have your last lash on, you can kind of just take the tip of your fingernail. Me personally, I have nails on right now, so it's just a tad bit easier, but you can just go on ahead and take either the tip of your finger or the very tip of your nail, especially if they're kind of long, and just dab and kind of just bring it up a bit. You don't have to be super heavy-handed. I know some people are naturally heavy-handed, that's okay. But you can just like go like that just to kind of lift it a bit, because mine was kind of like laying down, and it's probably because I'm applying them on the bottom of my eyelid as opposed to the top, but you can just kind of go like that. So yeah. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other eyes so that way I can show you guys the finished look. It's the finished look. I feel bonita. This is a super pretty look, and honestly I randomly thought to do this look earlier with the polka dots. Oh no, it's actually been on my brain for a few days. But as far as like going ahead and using my eye paint and actually doing this look tonight, this was a little impulsive of me, and I'm gonna be honest, 10 out of 10. This is how I do my strip lashes. I'm so excited to share this with you guys, because when I was trying to look on YouTube years ago and learn how to apply a lash strip, even just asking people, this wasn't taught to me, and ever since I've been doing this method, it's been truly a game changer. So I hope it helps you guys as well. If it does, or if you do plan on trying it, please make sure to show me and tell me, because I'm so excited to see you guys do it, because we love to look good, and we love to make sure that everything is easy for us to look good. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I love you.